Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we got an update on Aaron Rodgers and where we sit on the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, though. We are almost at our goal of 69,000 subscribers. How nice that would be to get there today. If you love the Giants and you want to stay up to date on Big Blue, hit that big red sub button down below and give us a like as well. Alrighty, we've been following this Aaron Rodgers story for over a week now, and there really hasn't been much chatter on the topic. Today, we got some information. Josina Anderson reporting, saying, quote, "It's worth noting that one league source told me earlier today that the Steelers feel like they are closing in," and the quote was, "getting closer on their quarterback situation." She added, "In their mind, that optimism pertained to Aaron Rodgers. Let's see if that sentiment is mutually held towards the consumption of a deal at some point." So there you go. Josina Anderson with a little bit of reporting there and some information saying one league source told her earlier today that the Steelers feel like they're getting closer on their quarterback situation. I thought that was interesting because another report came out per Noah Stackbean, who is a publisher for the Steelers on SI. Check out All Steelers Talk. Says Rodgers and the Steelers have spoken for the first time in several days. It's unknown what the conversations included or if any progress was made on an answer. But for the first time since what's believed to be last week, there has been contact between Pittsburgh and Rodgers. That is from Noah Strackbean. Noah Strackbean, who works for Sports Illustrated and covers the Pittsburgh Steelers. So two reports coming out today that say that the Rodgers and Steelers steam is starting to heat up. And I want to go back to this report from Jeremy Fowler just yesterday saying, "I'm told from sources that Rodgers does have standing offers from the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Giants. Teams are waiting this out and waiting on Rodgers. The feeling is there's not just a money consideration here. There's fit, there's surroundings, all of those things. The Minnesota Vikings are sort of in this discussion. Sources tell me that it's probably unlikely that they get involved, but the feeling this week has been probably not. They want to develop J.J. McCarthy." So we got an update on the Steelers. They reportedly talked to Aaron Rodgers this morning. Josina Anderson saying she talked to people in the Steelers building that says there's optimism that is growing, that a resolution could be coming. And the report from Jeremy Fowler that there are offers from the Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, I'm going to continue to say what I've said all along about Aaron Rodgers and where we are at. I don't think there are many people that are in contact with Aaron Rodgers. And I don't think there are many people that truly know and what they want to do. Being Aaron Rodgers. I don't think anyone knows what Aaron Rodgers wants to do. And to be honest with you, I don't think Aaron Rodgers even knows what he wants to do at this point. It's pretty simple if you ask me. If Aaron Rodgers wants to win a Super Bowl, he should go play for the Minnesota Vikings. They have the best team. They've got Justin Jefferson. They've got great weapons. They've got a good tight end. They got a good wide receiver 2 in Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. They've got Christian Darrisaw. They've got good offensive linemen. They added Will Fries in free agency. They brought back Aaron Jones. They made a trade for the San Francisco 49ers running back. If you're trying to win a championship, Aaron Rodgers, your best bet is the Minnesota Vikings. But if you just want to play football, you want to continue to be in the NFL, and you want to enjoy your last year or two in the NFL, I truly do think the New York Giants are a better landing spot than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do. One, the pressure will be different, and maybe that's something Aaron Rodgers is welcoming, maybe not. I just look about it like this. If the Pittsburgh Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers and they lose in round 1, Mike Tomlin is most likely going to be fired. And do you want to retire, and in your last year you're known again as a coach killer, as you essentially got Mike McCarthy fired, you essentially got Rob Saleh fired, and now you get Mike Tomlin fired? That's not something you want on your resume. Also, let's call a spade a spade. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense is not that good. And I would say the New York Giants are actually in a better spot offensively than the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the last 6 games of the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers averaged 16.1 points per game. They went 1-5, and they had a Pro Bowl quarterback in Russell Wilson. I understand they added DK Metcalf, and I understand there were injuries down the stretch for Pittsburgh with George Pickens and on the offensive line. But let's not act like the Pittsburgh Steelers have this beautiful offensive foundation that they have to just inject Aaron Rodgers into their situation, and they're going to be a championship contender. I don't believe that to be true. Also, if you're trying to win, and maybe the Minnesota Vikings aren't interested in you, do you want to go to the AFC or do you want to go to the NFC? Do you want to deal with Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or do you want to give yourself an actual shot to go win in the NFC where you got to beat quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels and Matthew Stafford? The NFC is much more wide open than the AFC. And at the end of the day, if I'm a quarterback, who would I rather throw the football to? Do I want to throw it to Malik Neighbors or do I want to throw it to DK Metcalf? And no shade toward DK's way. He's a really good wide receiver. He can't even sniff the type of player that Malik Neighbors is. If Rodgers were to play for the Giants, Malik Neighbors would be looked at as a bona fide top 10, I would say top 5 wide receiver in the NFL after the 2025 season. We've all seen the clip in preseason where the Giants and Jets had scrimmages and they practiced together, and Rodgers is hyping up Malik Neighbors. Talking about, I watched you at LSU. You boys are good. You guys did major work down there. I honestly think Rodgers and Neighbors would get along just fine. I can't say the same about George Pickens and Aaron Rodgers. Do you want to deal with George Pickens? I know if I was a quarterback, that's not somebody I would want to deal with throwing the football. Also, who do you want calling plays for you? You want Brian Dable or you want Arthur Smith? I personally don't even think Arthur Smith is an offense that Aaron Rodgers would thrive to the best of his capabilities to. He wants to take deep shots. He wants to throw the ball over the middle of the field. He doesn't necessarily like to get the ball out quick. Whereas Brian Dable, I think, is a much more conducive situation for Rodgers to have success. Get the ball out. And we've seen the Giants' offensive line, when healthy, is solid. I actually think the Giants' offensive line is better than the Pittsburgh Steelers when you add back Andrew Thomas and you add back John Running and Jermaine Illuminor takes another step. You bring back Greg Van Roten. Hopefully John Michael Schmitz improves. Maybe the Giants go out and add a big-time offensive lineman in the NFL draft. The Giants also have a better opportunity to add players in the draft that can make them better this year. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 3 picks inside the top 123. The New York Giants have 5 picks inside the top 105. What if the Giants tell Aaron Rodgers, we're going to go out and get you Travis Hunter, number 3 overall, and you're looking at a wide receiver core that features Malik Neighbors and Travis Hunter with Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson. That is a much better wide receiver room than the Pittsburgh Steelers can offer. At the end of the day, I think the Giants are a better situation for Rodgers. Better play caller, better left tackle, better star wide receiver, and the expectations are a heck of a lot lower. You go to the Giants and you win a playoff game, you're forever remembered as a legend for the New York Giants. You go to the Steelers and you lose round 1 or you win just one playoff game, they're going to feel like they fell short of expectations. And it could be the end with Mike Tomlin. Look, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's 50-50 at this point, and I do think retirement could still be an opportunity and a path that Aaron Rodgers travels down. The Giants are more than comfortable waiting, though. They've shown you that. They would have gone out and signed Russell Wilson. Because if they offered Russell Wilson a contract, he would sign it. If they offered Joe Flacco a contract, he would sign it. If they offered Jameis Winston a contract, he would sign it. The Giants know that they have a legit shot at Rodgers. And they don't want to go out and pull the trigger before necessary and ruin their chances of getting him when they got a shot. Wilson will be waiting. Flacco will be waiting, as will Jameis Winston. If we get any more updates on Rodgers, the Giants, Steelers, or anything of the sort, we're going to get you guys a video out as soon as possible. So subscribe, turn those notifications on, and let's go Big Blue.